Okay, I'm already it's too late. I'm little bit hurry. Okay, first slide is. Are you able to see the first slide? Police catheter.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah. Today I'm going to discuss a surgical instruments. There are 5 instruments given to me. Okay. Police catheter, simple rubber catheter, nasogastric tube, intravenous cannula, and abdominal drain. Okay. One by one I will discuss. If you have any doubt, you can ask, or otherwise, after completion of the class, you can mail me or message me. Okay. Hello. Please someone respond. Otherwise,
Okay, sir.
I cannot. I don't
Yes,
know
sir.
whether you are hearing or I
Yes,
am
sir.
able to audible or not. Okay. The first one is a Foley's catheter. What is the Foley's catheter? It's a Foley's catheter is a flexible tube passed through the urethra into the bladder to drain the urine. It has a multiple function, but now I am here confined to the one of the main function of the Foley's catheter. Okay. This allows the passage of the urine. Have you ever seen the Foley's catheter?
No, sir.
No. Okay. The second slide here is showing the second slide. The second slide actually this the name invented by the urologist Frederick Foley. Okay. The second slide it is showing a Foley's catheter yellowish tube. So showing a yellowish tube. It's made up of latex actually. Okay. Foley's catheter will used to made up of latex or silicone. What I am showing is a golden yellow color is made up of latex. It has a two parts. Okay, one is a tube ending with a blunted tip, which has a balloon opening. Okay, another end it has a two openings, two ways actually, two ways. One way for the urine drainage port, and second way for the balloon to inflate. Okay, if you able to see that there is a size also written as a size on the tube, 18 French. Okay, and 6 mm. So the size of the Foley's catheter is mentioned in the scale of French. Okay, it is converted into the mm if you divided by 3. Yes, in second slide I have explained here. Okay, there are two types of Foley's catheters, two-way and three-way. What I have shown is the two-way. Second slide is showing is a two-way. Okay, and the
So,
third slide. Tell me, hello.
so your screen is not being shown again.
Now, see again.
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
No. What is going on
So
here?
I think you have to. I have to You have to reshare it.
Okay. Wait again. I will reshare. Now, is it visible?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yeah. See the side slide. Third slide. Okay. In the third slide, I have mentioned that there are two types of Foley's catheter: two-way catheter and three-way catheter. Okay. The two-way catheter, it has a two-side channel. One channel is to inflate the balloon. One channel is to drain the urine. Okay. And one of it has a written as a number 16 French, 18 French. Okay, 18 French is given in that second slide. It is indicating the size of the Foley's catheter. The balloon capacity here is usually 30 to 50 ml. You have to inflate that balloon with a normal saline or a distal water, preferably distal water. Okay, in three-way catheters, the another way is useful for the irrigation of the urinary bladder. Whenever there is a hematuria, you have to irrigate the urinary bladder. Otherwise, it will form into the clot. So it is difficult for the patient to passage the urine. It will block the urine also. So we have to irrigate the bladder when there is a patient presented with a hematuria. Okay. How you do the sterilization? How you do the sterilization?
Sir, again not
Actually,
Sir, the screen is not visible.
Sir, again slide is not visible.
wait a second. Is it any option? Shall I share the whole PP with you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
How it is? If possible, I will share the whole PP with you. What is the big issue? Are you able to see the screen
Yes, sir.
now? Able to see the PPE?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm discussing in the third slide. Okay. Third slide. uh, how it will be sterilized. So any instrument which are going to use in the surgery, it should be sterile. Okay. There are many sterilization techniques we have read in the microbiology. Okay. There are many processes of sterilization. Usually in surgery we use autoclaving, but this Police catheter will be available in a pre-packed manner. Already sterilized manner, it will be sterilized by the gamma irradiation. Okay. Sizes are different sizes will be available usually 8 French to up to 30 French it is available. Okay, here I have discussed what is French. French scale is a measurement. This indicates the circumference of the catheter in millimeter. Diameter of the catheter in millimeter is calculated by number of catheters in French by 3. Okay, if it is size is 16, that diameter will be 5/3. Okay. In fifth slide, here I am seeing the three-way Police catheter. Okay, the third channel is for the irrigation, drainage and irrigation. Hello, are you able to see the PPE?
Yes, sir.
Okay, see, this is another type. In golden yellow color is made up of latex Police catheter. This white transparent catheter is made up of silicone. The advantage of the silicone is it can be duration is the life of the catheter is more actually. Okay, you can keep that catheter more than 3 weeks. Otherwise, you have to change any Police catheter within 3 weeks. Otherwise, it will cause the iatrogenic infection, urinary tract infection. Okay, but if you put the silicone Police catheter, you can wait for more than 3 weeks, up to 6 weeks, up to 12 weeks. Okay. That is what here written is silicon balloon catheter is made of 100% silicon, enhances the comfort for the user for longer duration, eliminates the risk that may be associated with repeated exposure of latex. Clear transparent silicon material enables the clear visualization. Okay. Another seventh slide. See, seventh slide. There are different types of Police catheter. Usually, female urethral length is 4 centimeters. Okay, male urethral length is around 20 centimeters. So the female Police catheter is a shorter length, okay, compared to the male urethra. The second one is the pediatric Police catheter. Are you able to visible this slide? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Seventh slide. See the seventh slide. Okay. In that pediatric Police catheter, it has a fillet so that you can catheterize easily. Pediatric Police catheter usually have a fillet. Okay. And second one is a two-way, and third one is a three-way catheter. So here in the eighth slide, I have shown the chart. Okay. Repeat different sizes with a color coding. Okay. But all instruments usually have a color coding. Police catheter has also a color coding. 8 French is shown as in a black color. Okay, this is usually used for the pediatric age group. For adult age group, what you use is usually 16. You no need to inflate the full the capacity of the balloon. Okay, if it is a full size is capacity is 30 ml, it is if you inflate at least 10 to 15 ml, it is enough. Okay, you no need to insert the completely. In pediatric catheter, the French size is fixed. Okay, it can be a 8 to 10. Balloon capacity 1.5 ml to 3.5 ml. Here we see the capacity, balloon capacity. Everything is written on the police itself. You have to check the properly and insert according to the size. And two-way catheter, adult catheter is 16 to 24 French. Balloon size here is around 15 to 30 ml, maximum 50 ml. Okay, in three-way catheter also same. It will available 16 to 30 sizes. Balloon capacity 30 to 50 ml maximum. Length is 40 centimeters. In female catheter, length is 25 centimeters. In pediatric age group, the length is the Foley's catheter is 30 centimeters. In adult, it is around 40 centimeters. Okay. Next slide is the 10th slide. Procedure of the Foley's catheter. I have to explain you both instrument and procedure. Okay. There are 5 instruments I have given. Foley's catheter and simple rubber catheter, nasogastric tube, intravenous cannula, and abdominal time. And I have to explain the procedure also. Hello, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hello. Yes. Okay. See, procedure of the Foley's catheter. How will you do the catheter? Okay. Catheterization is a sterile procedure. You have to follow all the sterile techniques. So, what are the requirements for the catheterization? Sterile gloves, Foley's catheter, 2% xylocaine jelly, okay, povidone iodine solution, 10 ml syringe, distilled water, Euro bag, sterile dressing, sterile draping sheet. Most of the things what I have covered here is given in Makanlal Saha, practical book, surgery for the practical, okay. If you have that book, you can go through. And procedure, how, before doing any procedure on the patient, you have to take the consent. Consent, 2 types of consents are there, usually verbal consent and written consent. Okay, for minor procedure, at least verbal consent is required, but officially everything should be documented on a written consent. Okay, so before doing the procedure, you have to explain the patient regarding the procedure and you have to take the consent and you should accept that procedure. Otherwise, you should not do. Okay, and scrub, put a sterile gloves. You should scrub your hands with a betadine solution or a surgical spirit. Then have a sterile gloves. Patient should be in supine position with legs apart. In a male patient, in a female patient, to get the access to the perineum, patient should be flexed at the hip joint and knee joint and legs are apart. Okay, and clean the genitalia with antiseptic solution. We have taken the povidone iodine solution. With that solution, you have to clean the genitalia and drape that area. Drape with a sterile draping sheets. Okay, it's available. Surgical draping sheet. In an uncircumcised foreskin, you have to retract the foreskin of the penis and clean the glans penis with a povidone iodine. Okay. Next slide is the 11th slide. See. Before putting a catheter, you have to anesthetize the penile urethra in female urethra. Okay. For that, you need to take the 10 to 20 ml of 2% xylocaine jelly in the syringe and introduce into the external urethral meatus. Press external urethral meatus to prevent the jelly spilling out and massage the undersurface of the penis to allow the jelly to go further down. Okay, this is for the male. The female also, you have to introduce a jelly into the female urethra. Okay, wait for the 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, then patient will get anesthetized. Then take the Foley's catheter and lubricate it with the jelly and introduce the Foley's catheter with holding the penis. Okay, for male at least you should push the catheter up to 30 centimeters. Then you will find the urine is coming out of the one of the passage. Okay, in female after 4 to 5 centimeters you will notice the urine is coming out of from the catheter. But you should not at the time you should not inflate the Foley's catheter. Okay, you should completely insert the Foley's catheter into the bladder. Otherwise, inadvertently you may injure the urethra. Okay. See here as written, the catheter is advanced little further up to the proximal ports are at the level of the meatus. Okay, then only you should inflate. 12th slide. About 15-20 ml of water is introduced through the side channel of the catheter to inflate the balloon. Why you should inflate the balloon here? See, this Foley's catheter is a self-retaining catheter. Means if you inflate the balloon, it will stuck into the urinary bladder. Otherwise, it will come out again. Hello? Are you listening?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that's why you have to inflate the balloon. Then connect the catheter to the urobag. See the urine is coming out or not. Okay. Then the in penis uncircumscribed foreskin is there. So you have to retract the skin back to the normal position. Otherwise, it may cause the chronic retention, paraphimosis. Okay. Then 13th slide. Causes of the failure to introduce the catheter. What might be the causes of the failure to introduce the catheter? You might be choosing the bigger size. Okay. In adult, usually 14 to 16 adult male. In a female, 12 to 14 size. If you have taken 20 size, it may be difficult to introduce the Foley's catheter. Okay. Again, inadequate anesthesia. Patient may get the pain and it leads to the spasm of perineal muscles, and he may not allow you to introduce the Foley's catheter. And stricture in urethra. If patient may have previous any pathology and he had already developed a stricture, it is difficult to catheterize. Prostate enlargement. More than many adults after 50 years to 60 years, he may have the benign prostatic hypertrophy. Okay, that causes the obstruction to the prostatic urethra. Okay, that's why you are unable to catheterize completely. Bladder neck stricture and tight phimosis, meatus. These are the causes where it is difficult to introduce the catheter. In that condition, you may use the simple rubber catheter. Okay, I will explain the simple rubber catheter also. The procedure here is same. How to introduce the simple rubber catheter and Foley's catheter is same. Okay, in that case, Foley's rubber catheter is stiff compared to the Foley's catheter, so it is useful to rubber catheters are useful in the difficult conditions. Okay, what are the complications of catheterization? If you are new to the catheter, Foley's catheterization, you don't know proper procedure, it may lead to the injury to the urethra. Okay, it causes the bleeding. And you may forcefully introduce the Foley's catheter without anesthetizing the urethra. It may lead to false passage also. Means you are you created the other passage beside the normal urethra. Okay, and infection. If you don't maintain the proper sterility, then it causes the infection. Okay, it's a sterile procedure. Foley's catheter is a sterile procedure. Next slide is the 14th slide. Okay, so what is the uses of the Foley's catheter? Okay, usually we use the Foley's catheter whenever you want to measure the urinary output. If patient comes with shock, okay, you have to measure the urinary output. Then it is mandatory to put the Foley's catheter. Okay, before going to do any major surgery, you have to maintain the output. You have to check the output of the urinary output. So we do the Foley's catheter. Okay, when patient is a comatose patient, okay, he bedridden patient, he unable to go to the washroom, then you may need to catheterize. Here I have given the list of the condition where you need the catheterization, urethral catheterization. See, maybe use suprapubic cystostomy. See, in where the conditions you are unable to put the catheter through the urethra, suprapubic cystostomy. I will explain the suprapubic cystostomy also. Here also we will use the Foley's catheter. Maybe use it for the tube nephrostomy. Tube nephrostomy is done when there is a stricture in the not in the urethra, not in the bladder. It is above, high. It is in the ureter. The connection between the kidney and the bladder is ureter. If there is a stricture in the ureter, it may cause the hydronephrosis of the kidney. So, in that condition, you need to do the tube nephrostomy. Here also Foley's catheter will be useful. Maybe use it for the urethral catheterization following the urethroplasty. If patient have the hypospadiasis or epispadiasis, he may need the urethroplasty. Okay, in that condition also police catheterization is required. Maybe used in urethral catheterization following the open prostatectomy after surgery of the prostate. Okay, three-way catheters are used in the side channel for the irrigation of the bladder in a hematuria condition. Okay, and maybe used for the gastrostomy and jejunostomy. Previously, police catheter is used for the gastrostomy and jejunostomy also. Okay, nowadays we are using the Ryle's tube, nasogastric tube. Okay, maybe used for the tube cecostomy, where when you want to do the diversion of the cecum, cecostomy you used to do. In that condition also, police catheter can be used. Maybe used for the cholecystectomy. Okay, it is very rare. For tube thoracostomy, for drainage of the empyema and pneumothorax, for pneumothorax. Okay, it is also useful for the drainage of the pleural cavity also. These are extra usages usually we use in the urinary system. Okay, 15th slide. See, one instrument is over. I have explained the police catheter and police catheterization procedure also. I have a video. Okay, I will show all the videos later. Okay, after completion of this class, I will show the video also. How to do the catheterization. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Shall I show now itself video? Are you ready to see the video also? Okay. I have downloaded some videos in the YouTube. Okay, I will show. Wait. Are you able to see the screen? Hello.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Urinary catheterization. Now are you able to see the video? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Are you able to see the video?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. See. In supine position. In supine position. She is cleaning the penis with a antiseptic solution. Okay. See, here she is using normal saline. You can use normal saline also. So this is the sterile technique. After cleaning, she is changing her gloves again. draping. This is draping. Now she is giving the lignocaine jelly. Lignocaine jelly to anesthetize the urethra. Wait for the 5 to 10 minutes to anesthetize the urethra after giving the lignocaine jelly. Okay. You should not completely open the urethra. See, she is open just part of the cover of the Foley's catheter. That is Foley's catheter made up of latex. Golden yellow color is there. Inserting the Foley's. Normal length is around 40 centimeter. After inserting around 20-25 centimeter, you will able to notice the urine is coming out of the one of the passage. One is for the balloon inflating, one is for the urine passage. It's a two-way catheter. Once you done, it's a easy process. It's not a big issue. Okay. It's almost entered completely. Then connect to the urobag. Other syringe to inflate the balloon. You can take normal saline, you can take distilled water, but distilled water is preferred because normal saline may cause the crystallization in the balloon. Then it will be difficult to remove the balloon. Okay, see, now it withdraw. Now it's locked because of inflated Foley. It is removing the taping. See, foreskin should be in a normal position again. See, 14 or 16 for male. That is urobag. Okay. Coming to the simple rubber catheter. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello. Do you understand how to catheterize in a male patient? Say yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Second topic is simple rubber catheter. The another name is Robinson or red rubber catheter. Okay, it is made up of red rubber latex, India rubber. Here, what is the difference with the Foley's catheter? There is no balloon to inflate. Okay, the blunt tip with the opening, side opening. Okay. It is more stiffer than the Foley's catheter, so difficult to introduce. It's painful for the patient also. Okay, so here size is mentioned as a number 10, not in French. So my size is mentioned as a number. It's a number 6, 8, 10. Okay. Again, there is a calibration. How to? What is the size? Exact size? Please. This simple purpose is same, but it has a different uses also. Okay. What is the number 10 indicates? So here, 15 slide. Number 10 is showing what is the number 10. Say, this is an English scale regarding the diameter of the catheter. I am reading in 17th slide, okay. The diameter is expressed in mm as a number of catheter by 2 plus 1. So if you want to calculate the diameter, if 10 means divided by 2, 5 plus 1, 6 means the diameter of the rubber catheter is 6 mm. Okay. It is a non-self-retaining catheter. This is the difference between the Foley's and rubber catheter. Foley's catheter is a self-retaining catheter, but here there is no back balloon to insert, so it is a non-self-retaining catheter. It is less flexible than the Foley's catheter, but inexpensive and most commonly used. Okay, nowadays it is not commonly used. Previously it is commonly used, but it nowadays not commonly used because chance of injury to the patient is more, chance of infection is more. But red rubber latex is associated with the urethral inflammation encrusting on surface of the catheter. So used for short duration. So Foley's catheter can be used for the up to 3 weeks, but here it should not be used. Rubber catheter is the temporary procedure. Rubber catheter is a temporary procedure, not for the permanent procedure. Okay. After 1 week, there is a risk of bacteria about 50% cases. Means in 100% cases, there is the chance of infection in 50% of patients. Okay. Next slide is 18th slide. See, what is the use? What is the use of the rubber catheter? Urological use to differentiate the anuria and retention of the urine by catheterization of the bladder. Okay. To relieve the retention of the urine by catheterization. When there is a difficulty with a Foley's catheterization, it's better to do with a rubber to relieve the urinary retention. Okay. It's in the condition where you are doubt whether it is patient is in shock with anuria or patient has a there is obstruction in the urinary bladder. Okay, then do the rubber catheter. You don't need to monitor in that condition. Okay. To assess the amount of the residual urine after micturition. During ultrasonography, usually in a post BPH, benign prostatic hypertrophy, residual urine also measured. So to measure the residual urine, simple rubber catheterization can be done. To collect the specimen of the urine in unconscious patient. The patient cannot urinate, then you do the rubber catheter. Okay. For performing cystography, dye is introduced to this catheter. So cystography is done by the Indian rubber catheter. For diagnosis of urinary tract injuries, catheterization of the bladder, if revealed the hematuria, indicates the presence of urinary tract injury. In case of urethral rupture, the catheter cannot be negotiated into the bladder. Okay. Urethral rupture, Foley's catheter usually cannot be negotiated into the bladder. So in that condition also, I have already told, in that condition also, Indian rubber catheter can be used. For administration of intravesical chemotherapy or BCG vaccine for the treatment of bladder carcinoma. In bladder carcinoma, we have to give the intravesical BCG vaccine. Okay. It is done by the simple rubber catheter. Okay. 19th slide. Non-urological use. Non-urological uses are for the diagnosis of the esophageal asphyxia in newborn, where the catheter is rolled out into the, it cannot pass in the stomach, it is rolled out into the mouth itself. Maybe used as an oxygen catheter. Okay. Used during the cholecystectomy. Cholecystectomy means removing the stone from the CBD, common bile duct. Okay. For flushing of the bile duct with a normal saline to remove the sludge and small stones. After removing the all stone, there might be, you might have missed the some stones in the CBD itself. To flush and irrigate that CBD, common bile duct, red rubber catheter is used. Okay. Another usage is used during the vagotomy. A catheter is passed around the esophagus to do the traction, the esophagus to identify the vagus nerve. Vagotomy is done in the surgeries where complete blockage of the acid reflux is indicated. Okay. Acid reflux surgeries or peptic ulcer disease surgeries, vagotomy is done. In that procedure, rubber catheter can be used. Maybe used to irrigate the abscess cavity. If there is any abscess, you want to irrigate the deeper parts of the abscess, then also it's also used. Okay. Another procedure is simple, how will you do the simple rubber catheter? It is the same. Police catheter, you have to use the sterile technique. But the thing is, here sterilization of the rubber catheter is done by the autoclaving. Okay. Hello. Are you hearing? Am I audible?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Or everyone is sleeping? Okay. Another procedure, what I'm going to explain you is suprapubic cystostomy. When you do the suprapubic cystostomy, usually in a difficult condition, police catheter is not able to introduce, or in a traumatic condition, there is a perineal injury or urethral injury, then you may not able to introduce even rubber catheter also. But patient has a retention of urine. You have to drain the urine from the bladder. Then in that condition, you have to do the suprapubic cystostomy. Okay, suprapubic cystostomy is a broadly I'm explaining. Again, I am going to explain the slides also. Okay, it is of two types: open technique and closed technique. Okay, in open technique, we use the scalpel blade and incise the abdominal wall just above the two finger above the symphysis pubis, means 2 to 3 centimeter above the symphysis pubis. When you are able to palpate the distended bladder, okay, then incise the vertically or horizontally 2 to 3 centimeter and separate the rectus sheath, then separate the rectus muscle. You are not using here closed technique, open technique. Separate the rectus muscle and see the fascia transversalis fascia, then peritoneum, then urinary bladder. Identify the urinary bladder by puncturing the urinary bladder with a syringe and aspirate the urine. Then you will confirm you are in the urinary bladder. It is not a gut. Okay. You should not injure the gut inadvertently. So you should confirm before putting the knife. Okay. Then give a stay suture to the urinary bladder. Open the urinary bladder. Introduce the police catheter and close the opening of the urinary bladder with a 20 Vicryl. Okay. You do the spinal anesthesia or general anesthesia. Okay, this is open technique. Here I am showing the picture is in a slide, 20th slide. In that slide, it is showing picture is hello.
So your screen has again
Screen is off.
gone blank.
Okay, okay,
Yes,
screen is
sir.
off. Again, I am sharing. Wait. Are you able to see the screen now? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
See the 20th slide, suprapubic cystostomy. Here I am showing the closed technique. There is two techniques to do the suprapubic cystostomy: closed technique and open technique. In closed technique, use the trocar and cannula. Trocar has a three phases. Okay, that's why it's called as trocar. Externally, there is a sheath. Internally, ensure the bladder is full. When if you're using the trocar and cannula, bladder, the prerequisite is bladder should be full. Otherwise, you are not able to introduce the catheter into the bladder because you are not able to palpate the bladder itself. Okay. Bladder should be full. Bladder is this distension feels the peritoneal deflection from the bladder wall to the abdominal wall upwards. So avoid the risk to the puncture the peritoneal cavity. This procedure will be a extra peritoneal procedure, not intraperitoneal. You no need to enter into the peritoneal cavity. Okay, if there is a scarring of the lower abdomen from the previous surgery, there may be a bowel adherent to the inner surface of the abdominal wall, and procedure should be performed under the ultrasonography guidance. Usually we do in a blind procedure. If you have a suspicious of there might be chance of gut instead of bowel, then if you are able to do, otherwise you can use the assistance of the ultrasonography. Then it is under ultrasonographic guidance, suprapubic cystostomy. Okay. What you do? Infiltrate the skin with a local anesthesia. I have told you already. Infiltrate the skin with a local anesthesia. Xylocaine 2% or 1%, 2 to 3 finger width above the symphysis pubis. That is 2 to 3 centimeter above the symphysis pubis. Using the longer needle, inject down into the bladder wall also. When there is a sudden give, you can aspirate the urine. This is a confirmation. You can aspirate the urine. You have to enter the bladder. Do not continue unless you have confirmed this. Okay, means you without any confirmation that you are entering into the urinary bladder, don't inside the abdominal wall. Okay, means there is no bladder itself. You should not injure the gut inadvertently. See the 22nd slide. Withdraw the syringe and needle. Make short incision with a scalpel at the side of needle entry. Use the 11 number blade, that is stab blade. Okay, so scalpel with a stab blade, 11 number blade, and inside the skin, subcutaneous tissue. Okay. With a scalpel is at the side of the needle entry, and carefully cut the vertically down to the bladder wall, up to the bladder wall. Okay, should not injure the bladder wall. Gently insert the trocar and cannula along with the prepared tract through the bladder wall into the lumen. Avoid the sudden uncontrolled penetration that might enter into the pelvic structure. So you should not go beyond the bladder wall. If you go beyond the bladder wall, you will injure the structures behind the bladder wall. Means rectum. You will injure the rectum. Then withdraw the trocar, at which point urine should emerge immediately inside the Foley's catheter through the cannula. Okay. See the 23rd slide. When you confident that the tip and balloon are in the bladder, carefully remove the cannula without displacing the catheter. Inflate the catheter, retain the balloon. A traditional cannula may resist being withdrawn over the bulky catheter outlet. The disposable plastic Lawrence type cannula has detachable strip so that it can be opened out to detach it after withdrawing from the bladder. See, the cannula is a common varieties are stainless steel varieties and it's a plastic variety. Okay. In recent situation, plastic variety is more useful, able to use very easily. That is Lawrence type cannula. Attach the catheter to the drainage tube. Means urobag. You have to attach it with the urobag. Empty into the collecting bag. The wounds require only simple temporary dressing. The drain stitch suture often placed to secure the catheter until the tract is mature. The Foley's catheter should be fixed to the abdominal wall. Otherwise, it may displace. I have told you open technique. Another word here I have written as a suprapubic puncture. In this technique, what you use is IV cannula, not the trocar and cannula. Simple IV cannula. You are able to palpate the urinary bladder. You are in a periphery. You don't have any instrument. You want to relieve the urinary tract obstruction. How? How will you do? You just puncture the 2 finger width above the symphysis, puncture the abdominal wall with a large bore needle IV cannula, that is green channel. Then also you can drainage the urine, but it is a temporary procedure. It won't long more than 24 hours also. Okay. Otherwise, if you do with a Foley's catheter, you can keep that Foley's catheter up to 3 weeks. 3 weeks or 4 weeks, 6 weeks also. Okay. Here the picture is showing 24 slides. Picture is showing the how will you do the suprapubic cystostomy. See, symphysis pubis bladder, in distended bladder, the peritoneum is went upwards. So urinary bladder come out in contact with the abdominal wall. The bladder is empty. The cannula is inserted into the bladder. In picture A is showing the bladder is empty. In picture B, bladder is full. Okay. The bladder is full and the peritoneal reflection from the anterior abdomen onto the bladder is well above the tract of the cannula. So you won't injure the peritoneal cavity. In peritoneal cavity, you have the gut. Okay. So this is second procedure. Now, so suprapubic cystostomy, second procedure is over. I have a video to show you. Okay. I'm going to play the video also. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Okay. Are you able to understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand? Okay. Now I'm playing the video of the suprapubic cystostomy. See. Suprapubic bladder drainage. Now putting the scrapings. Now he is giving local anesthesia. 2% is xylocaine or 1% is xylocaine. Means lignocaine. In the urinary bladder also. You will see, now he is entered the bladder. Now he is aspirating the urine. Okay. Now incising with a stab blade. That is puncture cannula. The catheter is introduced into the cannula. It should not go above the beveled edge. Otherwise, it's difficult to introduce into the urinary bladder. Now he is introducing into the urinary bladder. The urine is coming out from the bladder. The cannula is removed now. Urine is coming out from the Foley's catheter. Now he is connected with the urobag. Now inflate the balloon. urine is coming out mixed with the blood also. So the amount is given in the Foley's catheter itself. Now fix the catheter with the abdominal wall. Now how to exchange the suprapubic cystostomy is showing. It's not required for you. Okay. Now we have shorter time. Coming to the next topic. Are you able to see the screen? Nasogastric tube. Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nasogastric tube. The third topic is nasogastric tube. The another name is Ryle's tube. Okay. It is made up of plastic. Okay, plastic. It's a plastic tube. There are few lead shots into in the tube. They are radio opaque. When you put what is the purpose of the nasogastric tube is? It is to put into the stomach to decompress the stomach. Okay. Nasogastric tube. Naso from the nasal passage into the pharynx through the esophagus into the stomach. Okay. There are few lead shots near the round tip of the tube. These lead shots are radio opaque and make the tube heavier for the easy introduction. There are number of side holes in the tube near the tip. That is for the passage of the contents of the stomach to outside. There are number of markings in the body of the tube. It will guide you up to how much length you have to put the nasogastric tube into the stomach. Okay. The first circular marking, single line is 40 centimeter from the tip of the Ryle's tube. Means the length of the esophagus is 25 centimeter, but the length from the incisor to the gastroesophageal junction is 40 centimeter. Means if you inserted the nasogastric tube through the nose up to the first marking, means if you introduce that, means that you have introduced the nasogastric tube up to 40 centimeter. Then it is the assumption that it is and is situated 60 centimeter. Okay, from the tip of the tube, when inserted up to this mark, the tip of Ryle's tube lies at the pyloric region of the stomach. Means almost it's entering into the duodenum. Okay, at least you have to insert the Ryle's tube up to 50 centimeter. The fourth circular marking with the 4 lines is situated 70 centimeter from the tip of the tube. When inserted up to this mark, the tip of the Ryle's tube lies at the duodenum. Okay, but you no need to introduce up to this mark. Okay, see the another slide, 27th slide. Here I am showing the NG tube. See, this is the first marking, single line after 40 centimeter. Second one is 50, third one is 60, fourth one is 70. There is a marking. A common type of NG tube around 125. It is about 100 centimeter to 125 centimeter length, and with the markings of here is given differently, but the common description is 40, 50, 60, 70. It can be a 45, 55, 65, 75. It's not a big issue actually. Okay. 4 side holes are seen. See here in picture. In that picture, you are able to see the 4 side holes. Okay. It is given also length of the distance from the tip to that holes. Okay. The first one is 28 mm means 2.8 centimeter. Next one 51 mm, 73 mm, 95 mm. Okay. Another slide is showing how to measure the length of the nasogastric tube which is required. Okay. See, how will you measure? The measurement is taken from the nostrils to the ear lobule, from there to the zippy sternum. Place the tip of the nasogastric tube at the tip of the nose, then measure from the nose to the earlobe down to the tip of the zippy sternum. So this much length is required. See, the length of the different adults will varies actually. Even in pediatric age group also, this is how you measure the length of the nasogastric tube is required. Okay. Another slide is number 29. Okay. NG tube insertion. This is procedure. Again, I am telling you here procedure. How it NG tube is made up of plastic. Okay. A pre-packed, it will come in a pre-packed manner. Gamma irradiation is the sterilization technique. Okay. According to that is the description of the instrument. Okay. Next is the procedure. How will you insert the NG tube? What are the indication of the NG tube insertion? I have already told you. When you are suspecting a obstruction, intestinal obstruction or a paralytic ileus, the stomach is distended with a gastric secretions and salivary secretions. Okay. Patient may get the vomiting, repeated vomiting. You have to relieve the vomiting. Then you have to put the Ryle's tube. Okay. In a acute pancreatitis, also patient may have developed a paralytic ileus. In that condition, the stomach is distended. Then also you have to put the Ryle's tube. Whenever you are suspecting a obstruction, either with either it is a mechanical obstruction, either it is a non-mechanical obstruction like a paralytic ileus. Okay. In that condition, you have to use the Ryle's tube to decompress the stomach during the upper abdominal surgery. Okay. If you are doing the surgery, lac cholecystectomy, then also you have to decompress the stomach. To empty the stomach in intestinal obstruction, I have told you. To decompress the stomach post-operatively. Patient may have the GA, general anesthesia, then patient may develop the post-operative paralytic ileus. In that condition also, you need to decompress the stomach. For gastric lavage, for preparation of the patient for gastric outlet obstruction for the operation. In a CS stomach, you have to prepare the patient for the surgery. In that condition also, you have to put the NG tube. To monitor the gastric bleeding, patient is have a esophageal varices. In that condition also, you have to put the NG tube. For feeding, some patient have the carcinoma of the pharynx, carcinoma of the esophagus, carcinoma of the oral cavity. In that condition, patient cannot take the food orally. You have to put the nasogastric feeding tube. Then you can feed the liquids through the nasogastric feeding tube. It is useful for the feeding also. Another slide. See the next slide. 30th slide. Procedure. How will you put the nasogastric tube? Patient can be in a sitting position or in a lying down position. Some patient cannot lie down due to cardiac failure. In that condition, you have to put the Ryle's tube in the sitting position itself. Okay. Before putting the tube, explain the patient and take the consent and lubricate the tip of the nasogastric tube with a lignocaine jelly. It will act like anesthesia. Okay. Choose the nostril which is wider for the channeling. Pass the Ryle's tube horizontally through the nose. As the Ryle's tube touches the posterior pharyngeal wall, the patient will gag. Patient will do the like vomiting. He may get the vomiting because it's a gag reflex. Patient may given a little water to sip. Ask the patient to deglutate or ask the patient to sip the water. The tube then slowly advances as the patient is asked to swallow the tube. During the swallowing, cricopharyngeus muscle will relax and the tube will enter into the esophagus easily. The tube is further advanced till the second ring is the tube lies at the level of the nostril. Means up to 50 to 55 centimeters. When the tip will lie in the stomach. Okay. The tube is secured to the nose with a adhesive tape. Sometimes we also fix the tube with a nostril with a tie. Okay. If the required stomach content may be sucked hourly. Nasogastric feed content also NG tube contents also we will measure as a output. Okay. Whenever you want to measure the output of the patient, nasogastric tube suction also should be counted. The suction can be a continuous suction, nasogastric tube, or hourly suction. You have to instruct the sister, it should be a 4-hourly, 6-hourly, or a 2-hourly suction, or it is a continuous suction. Two types of suction is used, nasogastric suction. Okay. Next slide, 31 slide. How will you confirm whether the nasogastric tube in the stomach or not? Okay. Aspirate the tube with a syringe. If stomach contents greenish gray fluid comes out, it is a confirmation. Or inject about 50 ml of air, not the fluid, air. Because if you are inadvertently enter into the pleural cavity, if you inject the air, it will infect the pleural cavity. It will enter the infection into the pleura. Okay, so don't push the water, push the 50 ml air through the tube. Listen the stethoscope, put the stethoscope over the epigastrium and listen the gurgling sound with the stethoscope. Okay, then it will confirm that you are in the stomach. Listen to the end of the tube moving. The sound of the moving air will indicate that tube in trachea, not in the stomach. Okay, if the tube is in the trachea, you will able to hear the sound of the air also. Okay, another slide. So here I have explained how to put the nasogastric tube also. So another instrument is intravenous cannula. Okay, here I will show you how will you have to take the consent. This is not the sterile technique, but even though you have to take the precautions of hygiene, hygiene should be maintained. He is explaining the patient regarding the procedure, what he is going to do. Before doing any procedure, you have to explain the patient. Okay. This is to fix the, he is cutting the adhesive tape to fix the tube. Okay. He is putting draping over the patient. This is nasogastric tube, or he is measuring the length. See. Means up to that much length you should at least introduce into the nose. He is putting the jelly with the tip of the nasogastric tube. Now introducing into the nostril. In sitting position, he is doing in sitting position. He is seeing whether it is, see, it is entering up to the posterior pharynx. See. Now he is introduced up to 50 centimeter around. So now it's fixing with the nose. It has a stellate actually, but you may get the nasogastric tube without stellate also. Okay, next topic is IV cannula. Are you able to see my screen? Hello.
Yes,
Put up in
sir.
the
I can see.
slide number 32. What are the parts of the cannula? Have you ever done the cannulation? Anyone? Have you
No,
ever
sir.
seen the cannula? No. No. Is it yes or no? No.
No, sir.
Okay. Have you seen the cannula? Come to the
Yes,
ward.
sir.
If possible, come to the ward. Okay, it's lockdown going on. Okay, if possible, come to the ward, surgical ward. Not only surgical ward, even in medical ward also, you will able to see this cannula. Take that cannula in hand and see the what are the parts of the cannula. Okay, the one come to the tip. Inside the catheter there is a needle. That is a steel needle. Outside there is a catheter. Okay, two wings are there. That is to fix the cannula to the body. Okay, one injection port cap is there. Okay, without removing this lever lock plug, you can inject the injection through this injection port cap. Okay, if you remove this one, needle grid. Needle grid is if you remove the needle, it is helpful to remove the needle. Okay, last one is a lock lever plug and a flashback chamber. After introducing into the IV cannula into the vein, you will able to see the blood in this flashback chamber. You no need to remember all these parts, but you have to know the use of the how to use the intravenous cannula, how to introduce the cannula into the vein, not into the artery. Okay, into the vein. It has a grading like a Foley's catheter. It has also grading. It will available in different sizes. Okay. The next chart is 33. Chart number 33. Color coding and grading is there. According to the size, it will 14 gauge. Size is G. G is for gauge. 14 gauge, 16 gauge, 18 gauge, 20 gauge, 22 gauge, 24, 26. Then if the number is increasing, the size of the cannula is decreasing. Means the smallest cannula is purple cannula, gauge is 26. What we use for adult regularly is green channel, that is 18G. If patient comes in the shock, you have to put a green channel, not this purple channel, yellow channel, because it won't helpful. You need to inject the fluid rapidly. Okay, you have to put the 18 grade channel. In a pediatric age group, usually we use yellow channel. In adult, we use the pink, green channel, gray channel very rarely. Okay, this is for the blood transfusion. IV cannulation. What is how you put the cannula? IV cannula. Slide number 34. Okay, slide number 34. IV cannula. Cannulation. How will you do the cannulation? Patient is explained. Whenever you are going to do any procedure, you have to explain to the patient. It is a mandatory in a medicine. Okay. What are the requirements? Nothing is required. You need at least one IV channel. Okay, 18th gauge or 20th gauge, and you have to wear the gloves, sterile gloves, and a tourniquet, alcohol spray. Fist is a okay. Ask the patient to open and close his hand, then it will make the prominent. It will make the veins more prominent. Okay. Then select the side. After visibility of the vein, select the side where you want to put the IV cannula. Then clean that area with the alcohol slab. 35 side. Then the cannula is opened from the sterile pack and held with the two wings together with a level of needle pointed upwards. And the vein is punctured in a steady and skin is punctured with a cannula, keeping the cannula at about 15 degrees to the skin. If I am explaining this procedure, you may feel that this is a big procedure. Once you practice, it is an easy procedure. Okay, you can put the so many cannulas very easily. The needle with the cannula is advanced through subcutaneous tissue into the vein. The cannula enters the vein. Blood will be seen the flushed into the distal end of the cannula. The needle is further advanced a few millimeters inside the vein. The cannula is held steady. The needle is withdrawn steadily, slightly. The plastic cannula is advanced into the vein. If you put once enter into the vein, you have confirmed that blood is coming out into the channel. Then withdraw the needle slightly, because if you put the needle like say in same position, it will injure the vein and it will come out. That means you have made then you will made the false passage. It will puncture the vein. So that's why withdraw the needle back, then insert the catheter only. It's a plastic one, it won't injure the vein. The open end of the cannula is connected to the tubing intravenous IV line. The cannula is secured in a place by a sterile dressing and one thing. What is the usage of the IV cannula? Second slide. Next slide is a 36 slide. It's abdominal. The cannula is okay. Adasutum. Here I haven't mentioned any usage. What is the usage? It is useful for to give the fluids, colloids, crystalloids, and for the blood transfusion, to give the IV drugs. Okay. Next slide is abdominal drain. Okay, I will show the video of the how will you put the IV cannula. Okay. Hello. Hello. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
You can see.
How will you put the IV and how will you IV cannulation? I have a very little time. Abdominal drain is a big topic. Okay. He is taking consent, verbal consent. Okay. Taking sterile precautions, because if you are not taking the sterility maintenance sterile precaution, you will enter the infection into the directly into the blood circulation. Okay, it will cause the sepsis. What are the requirements? Many people don't use this type of apron. Okay, but it is better to use. Take the IV set first and IV cannula also with the flushing with the saline. Sometimes it might be blocked. Okay, he is tying the tourniquet. See the visibility of the vein. Palpating the vein. Cleaning the forearm with the spirit. This is a blue cannula. Okay. Blue cannula means the size is 22 gauge. 20 to 30 degrees. See, now the blood is coming into the chamber. Now he will withdraw the needle. He is withdrawing the needle. Yeah. Done. Then he will completely introduce the catheter into the vein. Then he will remove the tourniquet, fix the cannula, and attach with an IV set, intravenous set. You have to compress the vein, otherwise sharp should be discarded into the blue or white patch. Okay, in the IV cannula. He is taking again the patency of the IV cannula. Is this class should over sharply by 4 p.m. or can I extend? Hello.
Yes, sir. You can you can extend.
Okay, I will extend 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, because I have started 20 minutes late. The next slide is slide number 35. Abdominal drain. It's a bigger topic. Abdominal drain is a bigger topic. I am explaining you it concisely. Okay, you may understand, you may not understand. I will try. Okay, so what is abdominal drain? Abdominal drain is because it is purely such. Calls the fluid collection in the form of fluid or ascitic fluid or hemorrhagic fluid as a biliary collection or purulent collection and fecal tent collection. Wherever you are suspecting a collection, it will the chance of collection is there. Then you will put a abdominal drain. Okay. So what is the key point? The value of the drain is mostly debated. Means putting a drain is a controversy actually. Some people will like to put a drain, some people won't like to put a drain. They think that putting a drain into the abdominal peritoneal cavity will cause the infection. So what proponents say? Proponents claim that they remove the harmful fluid which is collected in the abdominal cavity and monitor complication do little harm. Okay, it will do the little harm putting a drain. Opponents claim they cause the irritation, perpetuate discharge, and offer an inward tract for contamination. Okay, the abdominal drain itself causes irritation, and it may cause the discharge, and it may cause the contamination also. This is another aspect. Okay, it's a controversial topic. But many surgeons prefer to put abdominal drain after surgery. See, what are the types of abdominal drains? Classification. Slide number 37. What are the types of abdominal drains? Open versus closed system. Okay. Open versus closed system and active versus passive. 4 types of drains are there. Means open abdominal drain, closed abdominal drain, active abdominal drain, passive abdominal drain. What we routinely use is closed passive. Closed abdominal drain and passive abdominal drain. Not it should be active, it should be open. Okay. In open, I will explain what is open, what is active, what is passive. Okay. Types of drains. What are the types of drains actually? It including chest drain also. See, Jackson-Pratt drain, Hemorrhoid drain, pigtail drain, Penrose drain, T-tube drain, chest tube, nasogastric tube. This is also type of drain, abdominal drain. Here you are putting a nasogastric tube into the stomach, okay, not into the peritoneal cavity. Urinary catheter. This is also type of abdominal drain. Here you are putting the urinary catheter into the bladder, not into the peritoneal cavity. Negative pressure wound therapy. When there is a delayed wound healing, you have already heard the wound healing topic, isn't it? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever heard about the negative pressure wound therapy?
No, sir.
NQWT. In wound healing, you may get across this word, negative pressure wound therapy. When there is a delayed wound healing, you will put a machine which suck out the fluids in that area and it fastens the healing. That is negative pressure wound healing. Okay. Are you able to see the screen? Now another slide is active drains. Slide number 39. Active. What is active drain? Active means actually something is acting actively to suck out the collections in the peritoneal cavity. Actually, we won't put any active drain into the peritoneal cavity. It is it should be placed in a closed environment, not in the peritoneal cavity. Otherwise, it will suck out the guts also. Okay. Where we put the active drain? Active drain we usually put in the after mastectomy, after breast surgery, after thyroid surgery, or into the abdominal wall fascia after the hernia surgery. Okay, incisional hernia surgery, you will put the suction drain. That is active drain. Okay. What is it's a closed system. Okay. Now active drains are maintained under suction. They can be under low or high pressure. Example is Jackson Pratt or Imovac drain. Okay. Advantages: keep the wound dry, efficient wound removal, can be placed anywhere, prevent the bacterial ascension, allow the evaluation of volume and nature of the fluid. Okay. Disadvantage: high negative pressure may injure the tissue, so we won't put the into the peritoneal cavity. Drain clogging by tissue. Okay. Next slide. What number slide? Passive slide. Passive drains mean here the suction is acts by the gravity, not by the active suction. Okay. Sorry. Passive drains. Passive drains have a no suction. Okay. Drains by means of pressure differential. Intra-abdominal pressure is higher compared to the environment. So the fluid collected within the abdomen come out by the pressure difference itself and gravity between the body cavities and exterior. What are the types of closed drains? NGT, that is nasogastric tube. Here abdominal drain, in abdominal drain, nasogastric tube is also used, but here that it is placed in the peritoneal cavity, not in the stomach. Okay, Foley's catheter. This is also placed in the peritoneal cavity also, not in bladder. Okay, T-tube. T-tube is used during the cholecystectomy, means after removing the CBD stones, we will put the T-tube in the CBD to drain the bile. Otherwise, there might be a distal obstruction in the duodenum. So if after doing the surgery, if you don't put the T-tube, there may be backflow. There may be again obstruction. Okay, that's why you have to put the T-tube. Open drains. Passive open drains are pentose drain, corrugated drain. Here in the picture, it is showing the plastic sheet. That is a corrugated rubber drain. Okay. Usually, it is used in the muscular planes or in a closed wounds, not in the peritoneal cavity. What is the advantage of passive drains? Allow the evaluation of volume and nature of the fluid, prevent the bacterial ascension, eliminate the dead space. Disadvantage is gravity dependent, affects the location of the drain. Usually, you have to put the drain baggage below the level of the body because it will gravity dependently drain. Okay, drain easily fogged. It's common both in active and passive drain. Slide number 41. This is Q2. I am explaining here Q2. Q-tube is also an abdominal drain. A Q-tube is consisting of stem, and a tube means a horizontal limb and a vertical limb. It's looking like a T. Okay, that's why it's a T-tube. Cross stem and crosshead is placed in the common bile duct. Okay, while the stem is connecting to the small pouch, bile bag. You are seeing the greenish bag. One bag is visible. Okay, that is bile bag. This is bile bag. Okay. It is used as a temporary postoperative drainage of the common bile duct. Sometimes it is used in ureteric problems too. YouTube. Next slide is showing the slide number 42. Corrugated rubber drain. This is an open drain. Rubber causes a tissue reaction and the drain track caused by the material persists longer than when inert material are used. The drain is fixed by the suture at the end of the wound and the safety pin must be placed through the end to prevent the drain slipping inwards. Corrugated rubber drains can be used either for the wound or for the deep drainage. Usually corrugated rubber drain is used for the superficial planes, not intraperitoneally. It is fixed to the skin by the knot. Okay. It is made up of silicon. Even it is made up of Indian rubber also. 43, slide number 43. Redvac drain. It's a closed drain. You might have seen this drain after surgery, after orthopedic surgery, after breast surgery, after thyroid surgery, we use this type of suction drain. This is active drain and a closed drain also. Okay, because there is no opening outside. This is a closed. Corrugated drain is an open drain. This is a fine tube with many holes at the end, which is attached to the evacuated the glass bottle, providing suction. It is used to drain the blood beneath the skin. After the mastectomy, I have told you, after mastectomy, thyroidectomy, and from the dead space around the vascular anastomosis. Are you able to see the slide? Hello.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
I'm going to close within 10 minutes. Okay, don't worry. Next one is Jackson-Pratt drain. This is type of closed drain and active drain. Okay, Jackson-Pratt drain, JP drain, valve drain. It's a drainage. Either do a laparotomy and drain the access, or under the USG guide you can put a pigtail. Okay, what is pigtail? See the both ends of the drain is a turned out. It's a wind out. Okay, like a tail. The pigtail is a type of catheter that has a sole purpose of removing the unwanted body fluids from the organ or a duct or abscess. Pigtail drains are inserted under strict radiological guidance. What I told you, it's under USG guidance, ultrasonograph guidance. The pigtail is a sterile, thin, long, universal catheter with a locking tip. Once the inserted, adjusted by the radiologist, forms a pigtail shape. Okay, it is curved. It's curved on its own. Okay, hence is the name. The guide wire is also part of the sterile insertion kit. Guide wire is used to insert the pigtail. The tip of the pigtail has several holes, which is facilitated to drain the process. The open end of the catheter has an outlet, which is compatible with an intravenous IV ruler lock. Okay, one is inside the cavity, one is outside the abdominal wall. The outside tip, abdominal wall, the tip is connected to the collection bag. Okay, how will you put the abdominal drain? Slide number 46. I am trying to explain you. Even though you won't understand, you can contact me personally. You can mail me. You can message me. I will explain again. Okay. How will you put the procedure? Two types of procedures are there: extraperitoneal, intraperitoneal. When you are putting a drain within the abdomen, means is a intraperitoneal. You are putting a drain in the abdominal wall, not into the peritoneum, is extraperitoneal. Okay. After removing the source of intraperitoneal infection, there is a risk of infection of the extraperitoneal tissue. Many surgeons close the peritoneum and leave a drain into the external surface, usually through the separate stab incision. An alternative is to leave the skin wound open and carry out delayed primary closure. Okay, this is extraperitoneal. Intraperitoneal drains are subject to a bitter controversy. It was shown at the turn of last century that putting a drain is a controversial. Already I told you. It is likely that the drain acts as a foreign body, that the discharge consists of the reaction fluid in response to its presence itself. You may think that a drain is functioning and fluid is coming out, but it may act like a foreign body. It itself causes inflammation and itself create a collection of fluid in the peritoneal cavity. That is what he is saying. Okay, this may have resulted from the fact that drains were formerly made up of rubber, because previously it is made up of Indian rubber. Now it is made up of stylastic silicon, so it is less irritating. Slide number 47. Okay. On occasion, intraperitoneal drains continue discharge fluid for prolonged period. Patient is a chronic liver disease patient. Okay, he may have the ascites. If you put a drain, or a patient is a tuberculosis, abdominal tuberculosis patient, if you put a drain, you may get that drain continuously for long time. It is because of ascites. Okay, in that situation, better to not put the drain itself. Okay. Although drains usually discharge fluid that is already present, the uh, the fiercest arguments center around their ability to channel the subsequent and fluid collection to the surface. Means the drain itself injury the internal organs like bowel. It may cause the descent of anastomosis and leakage of the gut contents into the peritoneal cavity. It is likely that all the criticisms and claims are correct in some circumstances. Okay, means there is a chance of drain itself injury the internal organ. What is the key points? Uh, Use the intraperitoneal drain such as open cholecystectomy if it reassures you, means you are suspecting some collection in the abdominal cavity, some chance of collection in the abdominal cavity, then put the drain. But not in expectation that you have done a suboptimized surgery and you are putting a drain. Means you have do the surgery thoroughly and do the hemostasis thoroughly. Okay, then put the drain. Then it is useful. I have a small video. I will show you. It is a closed technique. What we put a drain after laparotomy is an open technique. After doing a laparotomy, we will put a drain. Most common sites of putting a drain is hepatorenal pouch of Morrison. That is in the right side of the below the dome of the diaphragm. We will even put the drain in the left side, below the left dome of the diaphragm, above the spleen. And you may put the drain in the right paracolic gutter, left paracolic gutter. Okay, or you may put the drain in the pelvis according to the situation where you want to put the drain. You have to decide. Okay, I will show you the last video. Hello. Hello. Anyone is there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Last video. How to put the abdominal drain in ICU. See, this is a closed technique. In ICU, they may put the abdominal drain where the patient is not fit for the general anesthesia, do for the surgery, but you want to drain the abdominal fluids. Then you will put a drain. But what usually we do is we do the laparotomy, we do the surgery, then we put the abdominal drain. See, here is the abdominal drain. Here he is not able to do the surgery, but he is putting a drain. He is giving local anesthesia. Patient is on ventilation. Okay. He is putting the drain in the spino-umbilical line. This is means umbilicus to anterior superior iliac spine. Under aseptic condition, is putting a drain. Giving a incision with a stab incision. The lever number blade. To the grain bag. No, now he is fixing. He's fixing the abdominal drain with the abdominal wall. Okay, it's over now. Okay. Now here I am stopping the video. It's done. Now he's going to put the dressing. Hello. My session is completed now. Anyone have a doubt? Hello.
Sir, can you kindly share this presentation with us?
I didn't get you. Can you speak a little bit loudly?
Sir, can you
Hello,
kindly
madam.
share this presentation with us?
Sure, sure. But how can I share?
So you can
You
send it via
tell me.
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp group.
Sure. But I don't know your WhatsApp group. I have shared this already with my first year PGT, Sagning Mighty. Okay, you can collect with him. Otherwise, you can take my number. Okay, WhatsApp number I will give you. Okay, note down my WhatsApp number if you want. At my mail,
Okay, sir.
note down my mail ID ramprakash.chittimalla. RAMPRAKASH. Ramprakash.chittimalla. CHITTIMALLA. Ramprakash.chittimalla@gmail.com. This is my mail.
Yes, sir.
Okay. My WhatsApp number 8978
8978
2574 7484.
So 8978257484.
84. Yes. Otherwise, you can
Okay.
contact Dr. Savni Maiti, first year PGT, surgery PGT, Unit 6. I have shared
Okay,
with PPT with Savni Maiti also. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
sir.